in a nice little field here. And it looks like
And
we are off.
we have Samus, Sonic, Shy Guy, and Terra, Esper Terra, for our sprites today. First chest is arrows.
Map check showed desert with a 5-6 and Harrow with a looked like a red pendant. So since this is a pretty standard start, we've got a sword from the uncle. These runners should be lightning fast, especially with those boots through the escape. The only thing we're really looking for is bombs now.
There's 300 rupees in the second chest. That's going to give us plenty of money for a potential Zora trip eventually. I mean, it's not quite enough yet, but that's a real good start. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. It's always good to have early money, whether you need bombs or money for Zora or bottle vendor.
Yeah, that is a good point Recidador makes in the chat. Just like you have the early boots, which means normally you would be farming for bombs. You don't need to, because the wall in the back does go down just bonking it with your face.
Yeah, there's a few rooms where you could do that over by Sasha's closet, the twins, by the race game, bonk that all as well. So no bombs needed for escape. So this is gonna be really fast. There's no farming at all, really. You're just going. So we should see sub 6 escapes here if our runners have been practicing their escape.
Yeah, I think I could sub 6 escape in this situation, and I'm bad.
Oh, you're not bad. We do have bombs though, just in case anybody wants to take the time to pull those out to bomb that wall. But regardless, you got 3 bombs for Kakariko, so that's pretty nice. It'll be interesting to see where our runners diverge after escape, because I imagine with those boots and we've got some bombs, just different options. You know, you could go to Sasha's closet right away. You could do South Shore. I know some runners like to put off Kakariko.
I think it's a little less likely to happen this time because there's a little more, like when you have early boots, there's some more stuff along the way, like you can get bonk rocks out of the way.
Yeah.
You can also check library and actually get the items. So there's a metagame call you can make there. All of our runners successfully rescuing the princess. Game's over, right? That's all you had to do.
Yeah, just save the princess, game's over. Everyone's looking good, man. I do kind of wish I was playing this. That sword and those early boots, it's like calling my name. But you know, a lot of these times I've been playing a lot of these boot start seeds, and you know, you feel good because you're running the entire time. But then the items get really trolly. We'll see if we've got that today, or if it's going to be a pretty linear jet seed. We'll find out. But so far, runners all looking good through the front portion of escape. All making good time. Ravis, our first one through. Talia right behind.
Just a big 20 in the dark escape chest. We've got Ravis being the first one out in the lead here, and everyone else just a minor screen or two behind. This is, you know, pretty standard for standard.
So we've got 3 items in the back. We've already opened the map. 3 items in the back and 1 in the sanctuary. We're going to find anything good at all here in escape because nothing yet.
Yep, and a whole lot of Garbo there as well.
Yeah, no is that the answer.
I haven't been paying attention. Have we seen a map yet?
Yeah, map was in the cell.
Okay.
And look at that, with those boots, 530 escape.
That's very nice. And a glove in Sanctuary, so could see people sequence break up the mountain real quick if they wanted to get that save and quit point, but maybe not.
Yeah,
Vatasia is not going standard route, going straight back to the house.
Well, yeah, we're getting some divergence here, and we got to check at the bonk rocks to see
Whoa!
the call. Well, we got our moon pearl.
Sync on the left side is very real, just saying. And it got less real.
Yeah, I actually like checking out. Normally I don't like to check Lumberjack when I'm doing a standard race. But you got those boots, might as well do it anyways. It's a nice quick check. Yeah. Looks like just
early boots put you one step closer to having to do that anyway, So
Vatasia is doing a little bit of route diversions, coming to check Sasha's closet. Not needing that bomb. Bombs in hand, but not needing it. We've got 20 rupees, a heart piece, and
blue mail. I'm on board with blue mail. For sure.
Yeah, it's nice. Not any sort of progression though, so.
Alright, so Vatasia checks the map, notices a crystal at Eastern, and decides not to go there. I kind of agree with that because I don't like to go to Crystal Eastern if I don't have the bow and can't beat it.
Sure.
I'm actually more inclined to dip Eastern if it's a pendant.
Yeah, if it was a pendant, I wouldn't be surprised to see Vatasia go over there. But Vatasia's going to be doing South Shore before doing Kakariko, hoping to find maybe a bottle or a flute.
Bottle is usually the thing you want to find. Flute, of course. Also, pretty good idea.
So Tally going to be the first one into Blind Set. Give us a look there. 5 chests to open here. A whole lot of nothing. Those 2 heart containers.
Oh, there's a mirror in the back of Blind Hut. It would have been a tragedy to come here without bombs. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, for sure. Mirrors.
Yeah, good point.
Nice early.
Good point. Tower of Hera is now available.
Yeah, but you have to sequence break it, and you know it would be terrible to go up there and need a fire source.
And of course, yeah, if it's locked by the fire source, that's a real problem.
So there's an empty chest. That was for the boots there.
Oh, okay. I was like, what was that? It blended in with the wall. I'm confused.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Empty chest.
So
we did see a lamp as well, which now we can stop that discussion about Tower of Hera being out of logic.
Yeah, Hera's actually looking like the play right now, going up to the mountain. We got Bombos over from Mini Moldorm Cave on this Vatasia side. Yeah, it's not bad routing from Vatasia because everyone's going to be doing these checks anyways.
It's just different routing.
Yeah, there's nothing really wrong about his routing. He'll eventually make it to Kakariko.
I imagine that's where he's headed now. Got bombs out of the chicken hut. Back of the tavern, more bombs, and we'll get to see what is our free prize here at the
library.
The bow, hello!
Yeah, that's a nice prize, and that actually makes Eastern fully clearable right now.
Yeah, so
And in logic.
forget going to Hera, we're going to Eastern.
Just a bug net there on the race game.
Disrespecting the bug net.
You know he's gonna make their way over there unless you do the race game blind.
Yeah. See, if you don't go for it and you see it there on the ledge, I probably wouldn't take it. But if I YOLO'd the race game and I saw it there, I'd just be like, why not?
Yeah. All right, so Ravis, bow in hand, doesn't believe that's where he needs to go to Eastern right away. Like that's not gonna be progression. Heads South Shore. Tale and Raylan are making their way over to Eastern, and we found out that the green pendant is Turtle Rock.
Okay, so we may not need the ice rod today. That's a load off of everyone's shoulders because ice rod is a jerk.
Yeah, and it'll probably show up here in the next few minutes because of that.
Yeah, that's probably true.
So Raylan skipping, doing Eastern before Sasha. A little bit. It is just a smidge faster doing it this way.
Yeah, I guess you figure if you're going to do both at the same time anyway, you might as well.
So Eastern's going to be where our new checks are. Ravis will be interesting to see because, you can fake flipper at any time, but Boots makes fake flippering a little bit easier even.
Oh, yeah. You can even set up for the double water walk.
Yeah, with Moon Pearl in hand, they can actually do the double water walk. So if they're familiar with that, they can actually get the item off of Zora's Ledge if it is something they would need. And Ravis does have, it looks like all our runners except for Vitasia have the money for Zora. And it looks like that's exactly what Ravis is going to do.
All right, so Ravis is setting up the water walk here with Boots. Now, it remains to be seen whether he's going to try to set up the double water walk or if he's just going to use the water walk to go quickly. And that looks like what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Oh, I keep forgetting we have hints.
We do. Map in Heart Container, Firelocked Admire. That's some good information. So he's actually going to skip out on...
Ooh.
He's going to skip out on Hobo, go right to Waterfall Ferry. Let's see if he decides to come back.
Oh, man, he bonked.
Oh, man.
This is the water walk, and then he's out of there. That is unfortunate.
Super unfortunate. He's got to be kicking himself.
We also got a perfect Eastern Palace with all 3 items available at the beginning.
Yeah, that's great. Don't have to do the big key chest. That saves a good minute or so.
And we got a bottle in that big chest, which of course gives us access to the Sick Kid.
Yeah, and it looks like Ravis is actually, again, not believing that the bow is there early for Eastern. He's probably thinking it's more for Pod than anything. And he's not wrong.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. With the mirror in hand, I am pretty tempted to try to put off Eastern until I can combine it with Pod.
Right. Exactly. And I think that's exactly what Ravis is thinking as well. So he's going to go up to Hera and see if he can find maybe the hammer there. Maybe the hook shot to give us access to East Death Mountain. And this Vitasia with all the Kakariko items now looks like he's going to be making the same play. We've got
Titans mitts. What? So that early sequence break might have been pretty interesting. But that does give us access to the Dark World as well. You could make that pod play if you Boots water walked or kern jumped across the river.
Yeah.
10 arrows in the Spectacle Rock Cave. So Ravis's play is actually really interesting, trying to avoid Eastern as long as possible. And it's not bad. I'm kind of on board with this, right?
Yeah. It's likely that Hammer is, somewhere like Hype Cave or something.
Yeah. I do absolutely hate having Mitt's Dark World access, though. It bothers me so much.
The Hammer search is always fun.
Hammer becomes the new Ice Rod. It's just like, what?
It's surprising.
And invariably, it's in Ice Palace.
Yeah, it's surprising how deep that Hammer could be locked when you have the mitts. We got our first item, and we got a hint that someone friendly's got a sword.
I know. It was Uncle Assured.
Oh man, if that's the hint, that's super mean. What a mean hint.
Now that being said, it could be that someone else friendly has a sword. I don't know.
Yeah. I kind of hope that it wasn't.
Some cash and the magic powder requires a big red bomb, according to Vitasia's hint there. So,
it's a little
hold on to your
surprising.
mushroom, folks.
Vitasia's actually not doing Hera. Instead choosing to go immediately to the Dark World.
Interesting. Not really a bad play.
Tally giving our look at Agina's cave. Not much there. It's going to be interesting to see if our second item is here on Moldorm or if it's in the basement. And if it is in the basement, if Ravis makes the play for it. Oh, and Chad brings a good point. Hera is a pendant, so.
Yeah. And we did just get a map check from Vitasia. I missed it, but I think our trackers are on the ball. It does look like the second item on Moldorm, so no need to visit the tile room today. It's not that tile room.
Yeah, Vitasia making the play, skipping out on Hera. We got no real information from the hints, and 2 items were trash. So,
yeah, skipping it because it's a pendant is good, and also the way it is, you'll expect to find either a hammer or a hookshot somewhere around here, and then maybe you could combine it with Turtle Rock or some of the other checks up there later. Vitasia finds 300 rupees. I believe has found a map and a small key as well in Skull Woods and decides to peace out on the rest of it for now.
And Raylan actually giving us a look at Hobo here. And it looks like Tally took a little break, enjoying what hanging out in that room, in the mini Moldorm room, a bit longer.
I didn't quite see what was on the bumper cave bombs, so nothing important.
Did anybody with those mitts take a look at King's Tomb?
Looks like Vitasia's about to.
Okay. Comboing it with Graveyard Ledge makes sense.
Ravis is well, he opened Thieves Town. He may go ahead and dive it. It is a pendant dungeon, but once again, could be important. Silver arrows in the Sea House, half magic in the Graveyard Ledge.
Nice. And Raylan going to give us our look at Waterfall Fairy.
So there is still a chance that the first chest in Chess Game can be the correct answer. It does happen. If you hear the sound, you know it's the correct item.
Ooh, there's our hammer.
Well then.
Damn. If I'm Vitasia, I'm probably heading right over to Pod Eastern and doing that combo there.
Hammer and King's Tomb is the best.
Yeah,
it's a great place for it. Oh, there's a sword on Zora's ledge, apparently, and just a piece of heart from Zora. Now, we are going to need the flippers eventually, so once we find those, we can pick that sword up pretty easily.
Yep.
Alright, we'll see Vitasia opening the chest game. Maybe we'll get the... Oh, no, it's a blue boomerang on the chest game. Looks like, I guess Ravis just didn't get the item.
Okay.
Oops.
So, Raylan and Tally still need to pick up their mitts from the old man. Vitasia hand, it'll be interesting to see if he wants to go deeper into Thieves Town or not.
Yeah, Ravis didn't go for it, but Vitasia might be incentivized because he's got the hammer. And the hammer can lead you to some additional items there. Digging game going for the distance here.
Wow. All for 5 rupees.
That was the full 30, if I counted that correctly.
Wow. So mean. So mean.
Alright, big key as expected for Vitasia, and the 4th chest was the compass. So there's 3 items in the back, it looks like. And Vitasia is going to leave them sitting there.
Man, that's 3 items is tempting, especially when you have that hammer, so you know that you can actually get all of them.
Now, Ravis is turning in the blacksmith. Well, the seed continues to hand out health, which is certainly nothing you're opposed.
I mean, I understand why Vitasia is making all these checks. You know, you want to be thorough in all your checks, but he hasn't been to Eastern, and he's able to full clear both Pod and Eastern at this point. I feel like I would be jetting right over there. He is able to make another check that Ravis wasn't, and that's the hammer pigs here. So, Ravis was going to check the race game. Can't enter that room with the purple chest. Size, I don't need it.
It's like, nah. I mean, I thought he'd actually already checked it. Maybe I'm crazy.
I think he saved and quit right after getting the bow there.
Huh. Alright, so we'll get to see what is in the good old K45 here. What have we here? Just 20 rupees. Ravis Vitasia also carrying that purple chest along.
So both Raylan and Tally following Ravis's routing and getting those.
I don't know what Vitasia thinks he's gonna do here, because you can't do the digging game when you have a follower.
Yeah, you got to do the dig game before you do the smith chain.
Alright, purple chest contains the cane of Brian. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian, we have found your cane. Please come to the Gary's purple chest outlet to reclaim your lost
Raven's gonna give us a peek at the hint in Swamp Palace before heading over to Hype Cave.
A unique item is on Floating Island. So Vitasia actually has access to that.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've got Hype Cave coming up, so get your hype meters out so you can measure the level of hype.
I'm calling this Cave South of Bomb Shop from now on.
Seems legit. There's an additional bottle and a shield and a hook shot. Okay, I'm giving that about a solid 8.
Yeah, hook shot is nice. Hook shot, I'll give it a 7.
It's like it had the hook shot, it had a bottle, it had a shield. If you're into that, I'm on board. Boing out of 10, I believe that is correct.
It wasn't our first bottle, so I'm gonna dock some of those bottle points.
And Ravis is about to take that hook shot and put it to good use. So Ravis also has access to that Floating Island unique item. In before single arrow.
Yeah. Trying to figure out which order he wants to do these in. So he's going to do Paradox Cave first.
Setting up the mirror setup, which is very good when you don't have the hammer to get all of these locations checked.
So I imagine Vitasia actually making the same play soon after picking up his hook shot.
Oh, we've got a flute. Flute in Paradox Cave. We know that's going to be required for Misery Mire purposes.
Yeah, and Tali actually our second runner to pick up their hammer.
Looks like Raylan will be the first of our runners to check the big key chest of Skull Woods.
So Vitasia just doing the world tour, going from the Skull Woods area, getting the hammer and Graveyard Ledge all the way over to Potty.
Looks like Raylan had a little bit of trouble landing that. Landed the statue in just the wrong spot.
Nothing on the pyramid. We've got Super Bunny Cave. We've got 20 rupees, 10 arrows.
Oh, Raylan just not having a good time over here.
Getting bullied a bit. All right, what do we need for Turtle Rock? We need
Ether. Now, of course, Turtle Rock is a pendant, so not necessarily required at all. All right, Ravis into Hookshot Cave. We've got 4 items here, plus that unique item over on the Floating Island that we can hit. Flippers!
Who wants to swim?
I mean, that gives us Swamp Palace access right there, if you get the hammer, of course. Speaking of the hammer, Vitasia is going into Pod, which I am not surprised one bit.
Yeah. Able to full clear Pod, full clear Eastern. And we're going to blind find out what this item is here on the Floating Island. I imagine Ravis saves and quits and gets his hammer.
Fire Rod!
There we go.
Fire Rod does grant us access to Skull Woods, the back end, which is going to be a required dungeon today. Also grants a second level of access to Ice Palace.
So what are we looking for? We're looking for Canis Samaria.
Yep.
Possibly a medallion for
Canis Samaria and whatever Myers' medallion is. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Ravis go activate the flute here and then just like immediately go check what the medallion for Meyer is.
Yeah, let's hope he does King's Tomb right here. And finally gets that hammer of his.
He's not heading there just yet, but he is going to go activate the flute here. Speaking of which, I might have something prepared. Everyone seems to think having boots quite early will make you so speedy, but they are wrong. I thoroughly disagree, and quite especially if you do play like me and constantly bonk.
Lovely. It'd be real interesting to see where Ravis heads off from here, because he could go to Meyer, which it looks like he's doing. He could do Skull Woods as well. I've been missing out on what Vitage's been opening in Pod, but I'm not seeing anything on his tracker, so.
And as we stated before, Ravis going to Misery Mire, we're going to see what the medallion is. It is Quake. That is the one medallion that no one has located.
Of course it is.
And there's the Canis Samaria sitting right next to it.
All right, so we are in... No, we still need Quake. We're very close to no mode.
We also know where all 4 bottles are. Because of that bottle right there.
We do know where a second sword is as well.
Though I'm not sure that Ravis knows where the second sword is, because he got kind of messed up.
He's our only runner with flippers, though, so I imagine he makes that check sooner rather than later. I'm still surprised he hasn't checked King's Tomb. I haven't really seen anything in Pod yet.
I imagine if he checks King's Tomb, he'll want to combine it with Graveyard Ledge. So, but he's going to probably do that after he takes care of Skullwood. Would be my...
Yeah. All right, so Tale picking up their hook shot. And she will probably head over to Pod as well.
Hey, we're boots locked. I don't think that's going to be a problem for this seed.
Our runners have taken all pretty divergent routes. It's been hard to follow all 4 of them at the same time, so we should probably shout out our trackers who've been able to keep things up to date. Our trackers today are Oro and Floyd44, so big shout outs to them. Because I've completely missed all of Pod. I hope Vitasia opened something good, or, because I haven't seen any of it. I've been following Ravis and trying to keep up with the other ones, but it's looking like Pod was pretty empty. I mean, all we really need now is Quake and a sword, so we're not going to find a lot in other dungeons.
I see. Vitasia has the book from Pod, it looks like. If I had to guess where Ether is, I would say probably Waterfall Cave, because Raylan was the only one to actually fake Flipper and get there successfully.
Yeah. All right, so Ravis
could have been the Skullwoods location as well. True.
That's true. Ravis actually picking up a second sword in Desert there.
Well, all right. So that'd be nice. It would be nice as well to pick up that third sword. Ether was the big key chest in Skullwoods. Okay. So we know both items in Skullwoods now. That's good.
The real troll though is Quake can be anywhere.
Yeah, Quake is the new ice rod, y'all.
So silver arrows in hand for Ravis. This should be a nice quick landmo fight. And
Shooting worms in the face, like you do.
Gets 20 rupees and a crystal there. Davis really needs to make his way to Kingston. Get that hammer. I imagine a Skullwoods trip here is coming up for Ravis. A little bit of love from the sick kid. And it does look like Ravis is making his way to Skullwoods. You know what would be kind of trolly is if Thievestown had that Quake medallion.
Yeah, back of Thievestown is quite a treasure trove right now, and nobody's managed to go in there yet. Batasia gonna go clear out Eastern. Everybody else has already cleared out Eastern, except Ravis, of course. But this will still be pretty straightforward.
Yeah, so I imagine Raven's gonna finish Skullwoods here, get 2 items out of Skullwoods, the Ether Medallion, I believe, and whatever the second one was. And then I imagine them making their way over to Graveyard Ledge and Kingston, getting a half magic and their hammer. And, you know, I imagine at that point he does Pod Eastern. And unless that book leads to something, you know, Pod Eastern's pretty empty. It's hard to say who's in the lead right now.
Well, you know, with that ether medallion and the fire rod in hand and the cane of Samaria and eventually the hammer, just throwing this out there, there might be some turtle rock required.
Yeah. That would not surprise me.
In my experience, if you have access to Turtle Rock, go to Turtle Rock.
Yeah. So Raylan also putting off Kingston, not be able to get their hammer yet, but is heading over to East Death Mountain and pick up the treasure trove of items there. See how well. Ooh, that was super close for Ravis. Almost got grabbed.
Nearly grabbed by the hand. That is something that can happen in this particular version.
Yeah.
That is the one downside to Japanese 1.0.
Does have to be careful. I'm down to 2 hearts. All right. Able to take down Moth.
In a related thing, if you take damage as you're falling in the hole, at the same time that the hole deals the damage and it kills you, you'll hardlock the...
Oh, you will? Wow, I've never actually had that happen.
I know this because it happened to me on Laser Bridge one time.
Oh, that's awesome. What a great place for that to happen. And by great, I mean terrible. Sorry, Bob.
Yeah, it's alright. It was just a fun seed at the time. So, Ravis finishing off Skull Woods. Looks like he's going to head for North Dark World. That is going to be his ticket to a hammer.
Yeah, and that's actually going to put him in the driver's seat. I imagine he'll make his way to Pod Eastern then, possibly Swamp Palace. And he's really delaying Eastern and Pod. Not buying the hype that is the bow. You know, we do need it to complete the crystals, but it's not really unlocking anything for us, progression-wise.
One thing Vitasia has access to up here on the mountain that nobody else does is that ether tablet.
That's true. Yeah. And actually, we'll be able to do Spike Cave if they choose.
Oh yeah, Spike Cave is live as well. I don't usually forget that the hammer is required for Spike Cave. I will sometimes forget that the glove is required for Spike.
Yeah. You get all the way to the back and realize you can't pick up the big stone.
It's like, whoops!
Alright, so 41 minutes in. Ravis is going to pick up his hammer now. And with Flute in hand, we'll see where he decides to head off.
Alright, Flute to 4. This looks like it might be a swamp play.
Yeah. Ravis not buying the bow hype at all. And with, you know, what all he knows, he's medallion away from go mode.
I do tend to like to avoid Swamp Palace, you know, like the plague, but you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Swamp is that other 5-6 crystal, so could be a thing. We know that the magic powder is behind the 5-6 crystal, which could be locking our final progression item.
Sure could.
Tale going into Desert Palace the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, no flute in hand. She hasn't done Paradox Cave yet. We'll be rewarded with a sword and can, you know, go mode or full clear this dungeon. So
Tasia just spotted that fire rod on the floating island. Gonna go grab that thing.
And Raylan's still putting off Kingston.
Tasia acquiring the flippers and soon to be acquiring the fire rod.
Yeah, I imagine he'll do some more checks. Check the tablet and do Spike Cave as well. You pretty much want to clear out the mountain as much as you can. Never want to make multiple trips to the mountain.
Mushroom on bat. Oh boy.
Where is Quake?
Yep, just looking for that tilde.
We haven't had any hints for Swamp Palace yet either, I don't believe, so left side is fully alive.
There's the mushroom.
Yeah, not on bat, in Swamp Palace. Soggy mushroom there.
So that eliminates the need to actually go do the big bomb. The Ether Tablet turned out to be Garbo as well. Vatasia going to go ahead and head into Hera, going to get that taken care of.
Yeah, let's see how much of Hera he wants to do, if he actually wants to go upstairs. I'm thinking that the hint about the sword really was the hint about Uncle.
Yeah, very well could be.
Because the other two sword, one was Zora's Ledge and the other one was in Desert Palace.
Yeah, there is one more sword out there, so... But, I mean, we're running low on someone friendlies.
Yes, we are.
It could be Green Pendant. That's someone friendly.
So there's 2 items on the left side of
Catfish,
Swan.
maybe?
Yeah, catfish is a possibility. So the time Vatasia made up by skipping Hera early is giving it all away now by doing... Oh, he's actually leaving Moldorm, so he's leaving an item there.
Yeah, luckily it's just a big 20, so he's not having any problems with that.
Yeah, where's he going now?
Spiral Cave. He hasn't done that yet.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about this routing. I prefer to do Spiral Cave first and then head over and do Spike Cave, because now you gotta do another. It just seems a little bit awkward doing both. So you might leave Spike Cave. And so far, no Quake in Swamp Palace, so there is 2 items still on the left side. And yeah, Vatasia is actually choosing to skip out on Spike Cave.
And that's unfortunate. One of the few ways that advantage could have been gained there.
Ravis says no to those 2 items. I'm out of here. And it looks like he's going to be doing the red bomb now.
Yep.
So he'll be getting his powder. And will he then choose to do Pod in Eastern? It's surprising how long he is putting both of those dungeons off, especially Pod, with as many items as Pod has.
Yeah, doing the red bomb. If it's possible that Ravis doesn't have that hint, but I think Ravis was the one who found that hint that powder was here.
No,
So
I think it was in Spectacle Rock.
oh yeah, you're right.
So,
Ravis doesn't have that hint.
but this makes sense. I mean, he can do this and then combo it with Eastern and Pod if he chooses, since he's right in the area, and was able to do the bomb dude there as well. So that was nice.
Mm-hmm. Now with the mushroom in hand, I might be tempted to go to Catfish and turn in the mushroom while I'm at it.
Not a bad idea. There's a 20, and there's the magic powder. There's Raylan Tank here picking up his Master Sword, Desert Palace.
Tasia about to grab the Cane of Samaria. And find out the bad news about Quake.
Yeah. So Ravis again putting off Pod Eastern. You know, he's got the flute, so he can flute over there whenever he wants. But he's going to turn in that mushroom here and make his way to Catfish. And maybe do even... What's nice about this is he's able to combo Zora area with the flippers in hand.
Yep, he can combo Zora area. He might even be able to, afterwards, go back to Hobo, which he didn't do earlier. And there's a potential that somebody might dip Ice Palace before going into Pod Eastern, which seems a little silly, but who knows?
Yeah, he might. I mean, there's 3 hints there, and you're just looking for one item. He's really looking to. Ravis is really looking to go mode Pod Eastern. And unless Unless Ether's on Bombo's tablet, which I don't think anybody's done.
I think someone did.
Oh, they did.
It was just money. Tasia checking Agina's cave. I'm not sure anyone else has done that.
Yeah, we got our early Agina's cave from, I think, Tali did it. There's nothing there. Ravis will be able to pick up Tempered here, though.
And that is certainly something you want to see.
So what do we got left for that Ether medallion? Or excuse me, the Quake medallion.
Well, there's Ice Palace.
The Ice Palace, left side of Swamp. What's the tablet next to Swamp?
It's Bombo's tablet. Which...
Okay, yeah, I don't think somebody checked Ether, but I don't think anybody's checked Bombo's.
I saw in chat someone saying cash on Bombo's, so maybe.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Tyler, check.
Bombo's is cash. Okay. Yep. Turtle Rock is in play.
Turtle Rock is live. Now, the problem for Vitasia is Vitasia actually skipped the one chest he could access in Skull Woods that contained that Ether Medallion.
Okay.
Now, the good news is the Fire Rod is in his hand, so you probably want to head there soon.
Yeah. That makes sense. You know, I gotta say, it is surprising to see Ravis do all of these one-off checks instead of heading to Pod or Eastern. I mean, that's between Pod and Eastern, that's 8 items in crystals. You know where I think Quake is?
Where do you think it is?
I think it's in the cell, blind cell.
Ooh.
In the basement of Thieves Town.
That is an interesting theory. Could definitely be there. It would require that the small key be locked in the big chest, but that is a possibility.
Alright, so after getting the bow 10 minutes in and able to clear Eastern out right away, fully in logic, and Pod pretty quickly after that, 52 minutes in, Ravis is now heading over to the Pod Eastern area.
Ravis has basically exhausted every option that he finds palatable and is finally heading this direction. I mean, the other options are Left Side Swamp and Ice Palace.
Yeah, or Turtle Rock or Thieves Town. None of them are good. Really hoping to find Quake on one of those one-off locations, Ether or Mushroom or something, Catfish, and just none of it paid off. So Vitasia actually making her way to Swamp. We'll see if Vitasia wants to do Left Side Swamp. May route it in early. We don't know. There's 2 items there.
Yeah, Left Side Swamp. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, Raylan picking up half magic, and we'll finally be getting the hammer as well. It'll be interesting when Vitasia actually goes back to Skull Woods, or actually any of our runners. It looks like Tally's actually making their way to Skull Woods. Book in hand, mirror in hand, may be able to check that pedestal for us.
Yep. A pedestal check could be live, and at this point, the fact that I'm having to go to Skull Woods here, and I don't have that one item, and it is something that could be on the pedestal, I might be inclined to check.
Where was Cane of Samaria? Because Vitasia still doesn't have it.
Really?
Because
it was Vitasia, or the cane was in Mireshed.
Oh, okay, he does have it. It's just our trackers missed it. Okay, that makes more sense.
Like, I'm pretty sure Vitasia wouldn't saw the Quake Medallion requirement.
There it goes. Tracker's just probably going slow. Our runners are just going places that the other runners have already seen. So we've already seen Pod in Eastern. Raylan actually going to go pick up his Tempered Sword here. Vitasia going through Swamp, and Tally finishing up Skull Woods. Our next real check will be if Vitasia chooses to do left side or not.
Ravis having a bit of an argument with his sword beams there.
Right,
sword beams never do what you want them to do anyway.
Yeah, I hate sword beams.
You want them to deal a reasonable amount of damage, they're not going to do that.
Yeah. So Vitasia doing pretty standard routing for Swamp, and that's head to the back first. He does know that he only needs one item and a sword.
That's very reasonable, considering what you need. However,
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised to see Vitasia go back in. We'll see.
Yeah. At this point, it's kind of surprising. It'd be surprising for him to leave 2 items there when you're just looking for Quake. I mean, there is a lot of options still available. We have, all of Turtle Rock, Ice Palace. He hasn't been to Desert yet. There's those 3 items in Thieves Town. He still has an item in Skull Woods. So it wouldn't be super surprising if he left the left side swamp, but you never know.
It looks like Raylan also heading over to Pod, following Ravis's footsteps.
So that book actually wasn't for nothing. Book didn't get us anything. So no progression in either Pod or Eastern. And Vitasia doing hammer strats for Argus here with only fighter sword in hand. Not fun.
Yeah, menu boss is not your favorite fight. It is possible to do spin strats here with the fighter sword and get double spins to take him out.
That's actually what I prefer to do with fighter sword.
Yeah, because the menu in this game is actual garbage.
Yeah. And even if you do mini strats, you can actually do 2 puffs at a time and hammer them.
We saw Vitasia do one of those 2 puff plays earlier, but
all right, so it'll be really interesting to see if Tally chooses to check that pedestal there. Just mark that off, or if she wants to just head on out.
All right, moment of truth. Are we going to see a mirror here? I think so. In fact, they went for the book first.
No.
Oh, no. Debated all day.
Wow. Right there, and you don't check it. And she knows she's on the restream, too. Just trolling chat. She's going to be able to pick up Kena Smart in here.
All right, Vitasia finishing off Swamp. Will Vitasia go back for left side? Or will we be left in the dark once again? Going back.
I like it. Our runners have also avoided Crystal Ice Palace like the plague. Ice Palace is not the most fun dungeon to do, but it does have 2 items and 3 hints, so
think he's got 3 items, actually.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
3 items, yeah. And Tally making the play.
Ooh, Charlie going for ice. Oh, we just found out what was on left side swamp.
And that's why you do Ice Palace before you do Swamp Palace.
Oh boy.
Wow.
The debate is real.
Oh no. Too good. Too good. Alright, first room in Ice Palace gonna give us Feel Bad
Oh man. A burrito. Man, I feel like some burritos. I think I'll get some after this.
That sounds good. Alright, second hint, Nice Palace coming up. Is it going to tell us where Quake is?
Shovel in Turtle Rock? Yeah, that could be a thing. We did get a hint earlier saying the shovel was required the Cane of Samaria, so yeah, that is entirely possible.
It's going to be really funny if it isn't these found. And everyone left those 3 items there. Alright, so second hint was just a troll.
Alright, looks like Vitasia... Oh boy, Vitasia is gonna be salty.
Oh yeah, he's going to get that hint right away.
I'm gonna be salty for Vitasia, even if Vitasia is not salty.
Yeah, for sure. $1,300 rupees in hand, sees a 20 that lying around, just can't pass it by. Gotta pick it up.
I think Vitasia will probably go for Zora here as well, just to get that.
Yep.
Get the sword.
I imagine that as well. Alright, next chest, Nice Palace. Is it Quake?
Nope. It's a compass.
That compass.
And Talia just trying to set up a bomb jump and decides, you know what? Nope. Just gonna fall. I'm sure it was entirely calculated. Nah, not Rip Ice Tea. Talia's just gonna go around the long way.
Yeah. What is Ravis doing? He's checking yeah, he's using that book to check out the
Yeah, and I think this might be a Turtle Rock play coming up from Ravis here. Maybe some Spike Cave action, but
checking these one-off locations when you have crystals to clear is just, I mean, it's risk reward, right? He's gonna check out Spike Cave, something that Vitasia put off while up here.
hey, a unique item requires the boots. No, really? There were a couple of those, actually.
2.
It was the bow and the moon pearl.
And Vitasia lucking out with that Spike Cave skip. Is able to pick up Master Sword. He'll have Tempered as well.
Okay, and this is definitely a Turtle Rock play from Ravis. as somebody mentioned in chat, he was clipping through the ledge there accidentally.
Yeah.
Didn't really gain him any advantage, so that's not really a problem.
Yeah, it happens sometimes when you take damage while hugging those edges.
Like I said, if you have access to Turtle Rock, just go there. That's my rule.
But Ice, you've got Ice Palace. It's got 3 hints and 3 items. Why not go there
But
first?
it's Ice Palace. Ice Palace is garbage. No,
It's a crystal. It's a crystal you can clear.
Yeah, but I could clear it later in like 12 seconds if I'm in go mode.
I mean, yeah, I guess it's true.
Yeah, I don't actually advocate for either one of these. I'm just playing the other side of the argument here.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, in the speed gaming qualifiers earlier, the one match I did well in was when I gambled on Pendant Turtle Rock.
Yeah, those speed gaming qualifiers, those are the seeds that shall not be named. Those seeds were so mean. So nothing in Ice Palace. Ravis making the Turtle Rock play. Unique item is above the pose. We got that.
That is true. We did acquire that item. Now, of course, there's still the ever-present possibility of those 3 items in the back of Thieves Town.
Yeah, what have I been saying the entire time?
All right, looks like we're getting the ped check from Raylan. What do we have? Wear this to become invisible. The magic cape is at the pedestal.
Unique item on pet, eh?
A unique item requires 3 pendants. Excuse me? Bumper ledge has been checked. It was just bombs. Yes.
I got a key, a big key. There's that shovel.
Yep, the shovel is found. It did require the Cane of Samara. In fact, in this particular dungeon, there are only 3 locations that can be
Samaria
referred to when it talks about requires the Cane of Samaria.
Yeah, because in other modes you can get to the other parts of the dungeon without the Samaria.
And the boss also requires it, but I don't think the boss will ever have that hint.
Yeah. So Ice Palace a blank. Tally gonna pick up her tempered sword. Batasia does have to be careful down to 2 hearts.
I think there are potions and things in Batasia's inventory, but of course, have to actually...
Yeah. I don't know if he's got any fairies.
Oh! I stand corrected. Requires the Cane of Samaria can be the boss. I must be thinking of entrance hints. Where the entrance hints are a little different.
Alright, so let's see. Raylan making up some ground, gonna clear out Swamp Palace. Batasia here in Ice Palace. Gonna pick up some items, but nothing of worth. Tali hidden in the swamp as well. She knows she can actually skip the left side. So we're down to here Turtle Rock. We've got Mimic Cave as well. We've got Thieves Town. And I believe that's it. I can't think of anything else we have.
Unless I'm missing something in my head. the dig location, I guess.
Oh, right. Yep.
I like Ravis's play of grabbing the big chest first because it's real quick, and all
Yep.
you're looking for is Quake.
Yeah, it makes sense. And this routing may pay off, is going to pay off one way or another for Ravis.
There's the third shield that we found, the other one being in the checkerboard cave that Ravis didn't pick up.
Yeah. Ravis now looking to go mode Ice Palace as well. And should be able to do that. Got a key here. Got laser bridge. Now what would be really mean is if Quake was on, say, the green pendant and the ice rod was like in Thieves Town or something. Ray was having a little trouble here with the maze, able to get on track.
All right, Ravis coming up on the laser bridge, one of the most likely locations to contain our progression.
Is it going to be here, chat?
Technically, that small key counts as progression.
Yeah, allows us to go to Trinex. And then there was one. No.
And Trinex has the compass, so Ravis is just piecing. Luckily for him, the pedestal does not contain his item.
Man, I really hope it's Thieves Town.
Watch it be Sahasrara.
Yeah.
That would be the worst for Ravis. Oh, it looks like Ravis is going back to Swamp for the two items on the left. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know what
he's
it's
check the tablet.
Okay, yeah, tablet. Oh yeah, dig spot, definitely a thing. Tasia up against Cold Stare. Cold Stare up against a wall.
Cold Stare down.
Basically, most people have done the front of Thieves Town and nobody's done the back. And there are still 3 items in the back. Really, the only person... I don't usually disagree with skipping the back of Thieves Town if you don't have the hammer, but when Vitasia was there, they did have the hammer, so I kind of disagree with that play.
Yeah, did Tally already finish Ice Palace? It's not marked on her tracker.
I believe Tally did finish Ice Palace, or at least went in. Maybe they pieced out.
So Ray was not checking the dig spot. He's actually going to Ice Palace instead. Ravis's routing's been a little crazy and very unpredictable.
Goes for lots and lots of different one-offs, and then when we have a one-off that we haven't seen, he's going for the dungeon.
Yeah. All right, so Tally, actually with 6 crystals in hand, gonna go do the red bomb, get powder, and probably start doing some of those one-off checks that Ravis did earlier. Vitasia.
Now, Vitasia might be the hero of the hour. Well, going for Skullwoods first, and that makes
Skullwoods,
plenty of
got to
sense.
clean that up. Yep.
Gonna pick up Ether here as well, so could end up, diverting Vitasia toward Thievestown. I mean, not Thievestown, Turtle Rock.
Yeah. Tal has got powder in hand after this red bomb. I could see her actually going over to Thievestown and clearing that out. Unfortunately for Rowland, doing the left side of Swamp, not having done Ice Palace yet.
Well, Trinex has the compass of Turtle Rock, but Trinex also has the green pendant, so it could be green pendant having a break.
It's surprising that Ravis didn't do the dig spot, since he did all of the other one-off checks over doing some of the dungeons. So if he full clears Ice Palace, which I imagine he's going to do, some of his decision making is just I can't
you can't even
predict it. Yeah, it's surprising not to do one or the other.
Yeah, it's possible he just didn't mark the shovel and wasn't even thinking about it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the sort of thing I would end up doing. Alright, so Raylan also entering Ice Palace.
Bombs the hint. Love it.
At least Ravis will not be tempted to go back to Swamp now.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, with that hint from the front. Apparently, according to our tracker, according to chat, Ravis does not have the shovel marked on his tracker, so he might have.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, especially when you have the flute, it's not something that sticks out in your menus. I mean, nobody's finished yet in this race, not including our, we're not going to share when somebody does finish, but nobody's finished yet. So it's, it might not be Thievestown. It might just be that shovel spot is that our progression. And if Ravis forgets that he has shovel, it could be really bad. Man, how long have we been looking for this Quake medallion? I want to say it's been our last item for 40 minutes now.
That is how it tend to be.
Now I'm glad I didn't play this seed. These boot seeds, or these early boot seeds, it's like, I hope you like to run, because you're going to be doing it a lot. Or make you run all over Hyrule.
Somebody just made or random in chat there just made a good point. If it's in the Thievestown big chest, there could be some real trouble as well.
Yep.
Some people went into the back without the big chest. Without the hammer, that would be a real problem. Right, Vitasia acquires the Ether Medallion. So that grants access to Thievestown. We'll see if Vitasia decides... Or not Thievestown. Turtle Rock. I keep doing that. We'll see if Vitasia takes the bait. Did Vitasia not actually remember what this was. Oh, going to desert. Okay.
Yeah. Clearing out crystals that he can clear out now. Nice cold stare fight from Ravis there. Tale picking up, we'll be picking up the shovel here pretty soon. But I meant she'll full clear Turtle Rock while you're here looking for that quick medallion. There's no reason to leave after getting that shovel.
Alright, Tali, yeah, going back into
She pulled out the mirror. I thought maybe she was going to make a liar out of me, but no, she's just skipping out on those rollers.
Ten arrows from the hobo once again for Ravis. And still looking for that elusive Quake medallion.
Yeah, Ravis in the best position with shovel in hand. Just might not remember that he's got the shovel in hand. Does he think that he didn't do the back of Sasha's? He didn't do the back.
He actually didn't do the back of Sasha's roll. Okay.
Wow.
I guess he's been on green mail this whole time.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell with the Sonic because you just got blue mail and I don't even see a change. So Thieves Town is up next.
To 3.
Yeah.
The Thieves Town play is.
It's gonna be here. I think it's gonna be here. I hope. I guess for Ravis' sake, you really hope that it is here. He's gonna do hammer pegs.
Hammer pegs.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, we'd need the ice rod for that green pendant, but it does seem quite possible.
Yeah, he doesn't know he's got shovel. That's the only explanation for him not checking it at this point. So if you're rooting for Ravis, you're really hoping for Quake to be here.
All right, Vatasia also looking to go into Thieves Town. So not taking the TR.
I really hope it's in blind cell as I predicted 30 minutes ago.
That would be pretty sick. And then we'd have to find out where you got the spoiler log. Tasia for going a little bit awry here because we're getting. Oh yeah, I've already been in here. I don't need to go down. Happens to the best of us. There's Quake in the attic. Go mode achieved for Raven.
I said it was going to be in Thieves Town a long time ago. And what do you know? It was in Thieves Town a long time ago.
any one of our runners could have had go mode like at what 40 minutes or something.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, just imagine if Vitasia had actually gone to the back here and finished Thieves Town the first time.
Yeah, I mean, it's so tempting to leave it. You know, it's a pendant dungeon pretty early in the game. A lot of our runners didn't have hammer at the time, but it's 3 items.
All right, Ravis into Misery Mire. Vitasia about to head right behind.
You know, Tyler was actually in a really good position to be our first runner to finish, but she chose Turtle Rock over Thieves Town, and now is pretty far behind. And it looks like Raylan is doing the exact same thing. The only runner not to get duped into doing Turtle Rock was Vitasia. I think we got a hint about Fire Rod Lock, or the Fire Lock side of Mire.
Yeah, I believe the only thing of any relevance over there was a heart container.
Yeah. See if any of our runners remember that at this point.
We have slept since then, I guess. Well, not really, but you know.
Yeah.
It looks like Ravis is intentionally skipping the left side, which is good on him.
We'll have to ask him about that shovel. There's the big key.
And off we go to the boss.
Ray was using powder there. Won't be able to do spooky action now, but that's too much of a worry.
You can go set it up a different way, like the really old school way, but it changes everything.
Yeah.
Like the first way it was discovered was dropping a Samaria block in a hole. So you could go up here, drop a Samaria block in a hole, and then you'd need to hit the fire rod shot in the next room in a odd location. It'd be way lower on the screen.
Oh, does anybody do that though now?
No, not really. Well, I mean, if I was going to do spooky, that's probably how I do it, because it'll be a rare occasion I don't use the powder in Misery, because I take a lot of damage because I'm a derp.
You can always powder after you do spooky action.
No, there is that.
All right, so silver arrows in hand. Goodbye, Vitreous.
With Vidi, indeed. Vitasia making pretty good time here in Misery Mire as well. Should be able to finish this out pretty quick, too.
Just a few rooms behind Ravis there. So, it looks like Tally actually never even did any of Thieves Town.
Oh, yeah, Tally completely skipped it. I mean, I respect that decision.
Yeah.
Just turned out to be wrong.
Totally. All right, so we've got 7 crystals, so you know what that means, Dr. Bob.
Yep. Means we got numbers flying in chat already. The good old Ganon's Tower big key guessing game. No real stakes here, but of course, will you just make a guess as to where you believe, or what number you believe the Ganon's Tower big key is in? That's going to be coming up pretty soon. There are 22 different locations that can be in, and we'll use Ravis's check order to number them.
No stakes. I thought it was life or death here. We play for keeps.
Well, when I say no stakes, I mean Ravis isn't going up to Turtle Rock. Instead, going this way, so he's not going to have to pound down any stakes. Okay, I'm bad. Also, you don't have to pound down the stakes if you've already activated the portal, but whatever.
All right. Oh, I'm going to leave that one right there. Dr. Bob, what do you think it's going to be?
Well, my traditional guess is Bob's chest, which is 14 along some routes and 18 along others.
I'm going to say number 3.
Just in honor of the boots?
Yeah, make it quick. I'm not sure Ravis. I think Ravis likes to do like a dark magician sort of route. You know, go left, then right, then back left. I believe. I could be wrong. But if it's number 3, that would be put it in the Stalfos chest. Yeah.
All right, Ravis heading just outside. We got a small key on the torch.
Bye,
and
Bob.
Your prediction here about the route is correct. So, Vitasia also heading up to GT.
Yeah, not too far behind. This could really come down to GT routing here. It wasn't number 1.
Oh, it's number 2.
Man, I was so close.
I mean, you were in the right room.
It's funny. In my mind, I debated 2 and 3. 2 and 3.
Ah, Mr. Scruff with the guess of 2 in the chat. Hopefully that's the only thing he wins today. I mean, what? I have a match against him later today.
Actively rooting against our chat. Congratulations, Mr. Scruff. So Ravis making his way up to Aga's to the gauntlet here. Tempered Sword, Silver Arrows, Half Magic, Blue Mail, 14 Hearts. What more could you ask for?
I mean, I could ask for a few things, but that'd just be greedy.
Yeah, that's just greedy at that point, Bob. I love burning those Stalfos. I don't think anything in this game makes me more happy than just burning down those red Stalfos.
It's like try to RNG jump your way out of this one.
Right. And just the fact that they just die instantly, it's so good. So Vitasia also heading left now. I'm not sure if they did Hope Room or not. Tally in go mode now. Going to take on Viddy and Raylan. Hopefully picking up Quake and Beastown pretty soon.
So Vitasia should also have the big key quite shortly.
Quick gauntlet for Ravis, able to get through land mode 2 really fast with Silver Arrows in hand. And there is the big key for Vitasia. Still opening up a couple chests. Makes his way up now.
Alright, light and torches for Ravis. Heading over to the second torch room.
Yeah, no even need to open any chests or kill any more enemies other than Moldorm 2 here with 2 keys in hand.
Ravis going for the 0 bomb count, which is actually a strat here. The idea is a specific way to get to that powder, and then you don't have to menu over the bombs. So it looked like you might have just been on a murderous bombing rampage, but no, there was a reason for all that. All that bombing.
All right, Batasia, get ready to enter the gauntlet. Moldorm 2 down for Ravis. No need to check Moldorm 2 chest. It's everything he needs.
See, in this scenario, I would check it even if I was in a big race, just because if it's butter, I get like 30 seconds or like a lot of reassurance.
Yeah, guarantee the 1-in-1 cycle for phase 1 and 2 again. I think that was a double there. Oh no!
No, it was a triple, and the exact same pattern both times, and it was
wow,
just beautiful.
Couldn't ask for a better Aga 2 there.
Ravis has something to say. It's like, what? What kind of Aga was that? What sort of parallel universe are we living in?
All right, so let's see if Ravis can 1-in-1 cycle phase 1 and 2 of Ganon here. Takes 12 slashes with the Tempered Sword. Alright, not able to get the 1 cycle, but should be getting beyond the phase 2 now. I don't think he's going to be able to get it here either.
Yeah, that looks like about 9 or 10.
Yeah, so
right, should be good now.
Alright, 4 slashes here and then 4 arrows into the pig and we're done. Tasia doing the torch room, Tally just entering GT, and Raylan now in go mode.
A very small amount of teleports here from Ganon.
Yeah, nice quick Ganon. Able to get the torch glitch, get the final 2 arrows in, and down goes Ganon. Get your GGs in chat for Ravis as he gets ready to cross that bridge and grab the Triforce.
All right, and Ravis finishing with an official time of 1 hour, 38 minutes, and 14 seconds. That's going to be good for 14th place in this race.
So 14th, that just shows you who went to Thieves Town and who didn't go to Thieves Town.
Oh, yeah.
Because our first place finisher, Plasma Kappa, finished in first with a 121.30. So Plasma Kappa found help right in Thieves Town. Our second place finisher was Frostbite 3030, who finished 123.54. And our third place finisher was Hayfield Bay with 125.44. So for top 3, all went to Thieves
Ice Red on blind.
Oh, that's good.
Wow, that's good. That's good times.
So just 4 minutes between the top 3 runners. And
what happened to Vitasia?
Oh, did he fall? Or did he die?
Did he take a death on Aga 2 or something? That's awful.
Oh no, I missed that.
That's gotta feel the worst.
Yeah, and it's actually now behind Tale. We'll see if we can get Ravis to join us here.
And we are now joined by the winner of the restream, Ravis. How's it going?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. When your last locations are dependent Eastern or one item in the Eastern, that doesn't feel too good.
Yeah, we were all sitting here like Ray. We think everybody on here just had a pack to last location Thievestown apparently, because everybody on restream completely at least skipped the back of Thievestown.
Yeah, I see that.
So yeah, just confirming, you were aware that you picked up the shovel, right?
Yeah, I was.
Okay, people were all worried that you had forgotten.
Okay, honestly, I forgot.
Okay.
No, I really forgot about that. But I would have thought about things if Quake is not in Eastern, because I obviously would have checked Eastern, and on the way I would have thought, okay, what did I get where, and eventually I would have come to the shovel.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it turns out Blind actually had the ice rod for beating Trinex. We were worried that Quake was going to be on the green pendant, actually, is what we were worried about.
Yeah.
So, can you tell us why you put off Pod Eastern for as long as you did? Like, you had, access to do Eastern really, really early, logically, and you got Hammer a little later than other runners, but it felt like you're really putting it off. Were you hoping to go mode them, or just can you take us behind some of your thoughts on skipping that stuff?
I don't know. Well, yeah, kind of go mode. I mean, Pod is this thing where if you get the big key early, you want to be in go mode. And if you're looking for items and the big key is right before the big chest, you're kind of happy, because even if nothing is in Pod, everybody has to go the long way. So I was hoping to get the big key early. It was in the middle, kind of, and I thought, like, okay, wait a minute. Swamp Palace, 6 items, plus Big Ferry, 8 items. That's a little bit too much to ignore. So I straight up went for the density.
As we recall, you were the one who didn't read the hint in Spectacle Rock, which told you what was at the Pyramid Ferry, which is why you actually got those items.
What? Okay. But, there was the powder, and powder could have been,
Magic powder could have led to something important.
Yeah.
Though you did find the mushroom there in Swamp, so you could have used the fake powder to get it.
Yeah, see, and Swamp was locking 2 additional items right there. So I was a little concerned about left side Swamp, but yeah, Ice Palace said, don't worry, buddy, not left side Swamp today.
Yeah, we had a lot of people actually go to left side Swamp and then immediately go to Ice Palace and get a little frustrated.
Yeah.
So we actually got a race going on between Tally and Vitasia right here. Both of them, the death from Vitasia, neck and neck. Tally took a fall to Moldworm too, and then Vitasia took a fall to Moldworm too. So it's a really close race here.
The third sword. So the 3 swords, there was the first one that everyone got. There was Zora Ledge and Desert Palace.
Also, I was always thinking about that sword on a friendly person. I was thinking, it's gotta be one of the both fishes and stuff. And right when I saw the tempered on Zora Ledge, I was like, wait a minute, sword on a friendly person, this is Uncle Assured. I'm such a dumb idiot.
we were, as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, thanks, game.
Yeah, I totally forgot it was Uncle Assured.
Nice Aga too, by the way.
Oh yeah, that was like a present. I was confused to see that pattern. I go down right, and they were all up left, and then they said, "No, we're sticking here." Okay, 3 Aga 2, I guess.
The literal exact same pattern twice in a row.
Yeah. But I mean, Aga's gotta be better. And 95% he gives us crap, and the other 5%, sometimes come out.
So Vatasia here on stream was right behind you going up GT and had a little bit of a spill in the bumper room on the route to Aga 2. So had to reclimb the tower. Feels bad. Right, so the 2 runners in Ganon fight right now. So Ravis, you basically everybody, I don't disagree with the decision to skip Thieves Town in that situation. Like, what was there any point where you felt like you were doing, like the routing was working out in your favor real well?
The moment I saw the hammer, I actually wanted to skip that because I was like, yeah, come on, as if the hammer was there. And then I started sweating, and then I see the hammer, and I was like, okay, I got that hammer really, really late, but I didn't need it yet. And I thought, or I could see people getting the hammer and immediately go up the mountain, and not getting the flute or something, which was behind Hookshot, I think. I don't know if the first chest Hookshot gave had the flute, but,
Flute was, I think, Paradox Cave.
No, there was Hookshot. Hookshot was in Paradox Cave. Right? Wasn't there something?
Hookshot was Hype Cave.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Hookshot Cave had the flippers. Sorry.
Wasn't there something in Hype Cave?
The Hookshot. The Hookshot was in Hype Cave.
No. Sorry. In Hookshot Cave. I just meant the Hookshot Cave.
The Hookshot Cave had the flippers.
Ah, that's what was there. Yeah, that was definitely only accessible with, cheating hover or hookshot.
Yeah, so that's in logic from the get-go, right? No, I'm kidding.
Kind of.
We did have Tali finish, so get your GGs in chat for Tali and see if she wants to join us. And Vatasia right behind her, finishing up right now. It looks like Tali finished in 20th place with 1:46.25 official time. And Vatasia.
Whoa. Yeah, Vatasia finishing 21st with a 1:47.33 and literally sniping Impalas with a 1:47.34.
Wow.
All right, we'll see if both of these runners want to join us here in chat. It's going to be a good one. All right, Tali is declining on account of lack of voice, apparently. But if Vatasia didn't get in here, I was going to go beat his face. Speaking of which. Hello, Vatasia. How's it going?
Clearly, I need to practice my my Ganon's Tower a little bit more.
Yeah, that bumper room is apparently your nemesis today.
I was doing a practice seed the other day too, and had equal difficulty. So I'm going to be spending the next week in that room, apparently. Other than that, I felt like I ran a pretty good race. I kind of followed the seed and didn't do things too early or too late. But man, that whole gauntlet area and then that bumper room kind of ate a good 12 minutes of my life.
Yeah, basically. So Tali has joined us here in chat. I don't know if Tali is going to say anything because no voice was called, but
yeah,
but
it hurts a little bit.
Okay. So Tali is here. You don't have to strain yourself if you don't want to.
But GG to you, Ravens, Vatasia.
GG's.
Yeah, GG's to all of you guys.
Vatasia was basically, I think you pulled the big key about as Ravis was fighting Aga 2 somewhere in there. So it was a pretty close situation. And then, of course, the mishap going up GT. Feels bad. I know.
Hey, I have cut down the list of all the things I need to work on. So if I only have a handful of rooms, I think I'm doing pretty good. I felt pretty good like when I pulled that early hammer because I thought about doing the early Eastern Palace because we had bow and lamp so early. But as soon as we got that hammer and mirror, I'm like, man, I'm glad I saved that. It's a lot of time to be able to double dip those back to back.
Mm-hmm. Now, we were thinking that you, of all people, might have made the play to go to the back of Thieves Town while you were there because of that hammer. You elected not to, and that turned out to be quite an important item there.
Little bit, yeah. I was cursing myself up and down when I pulled Ether because that opened up Turtle Rock, and I'm like, I don't want to do Pendant Turtle Rock. Please don't make me do this. But I knew that I had abandoned 3 items in Thieves Town, kind of on a gamble. So as soon as I finished Desert Palace and I saw someone had finished the race at that point in time, I'm like, okay, clearly it was something that I missed. So I kind of beelined to Thieves Town at that point.
Fair enough. Making use of the knowledge available from the standings there. Now, speaking of Turtle Rock, Tale and all of the other racers here, you all did go into Turtle Rock looking for that Quake medallion, and at the time it seemed like a pretty good play, not gonna lie.
But I had a feeling as I entered Turtle Rock, I had a feeling, okay, you should have gone to Thieves Town.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing with this. There's always 1 or 2 plays you can make, and one of them's going to be right, one of them's going to be wrong, and, it could be the other way around next time. So that's the thing with randomizer.
Yeah. I completely abandoned Thieves Town.
Yeah, same. I mean, you question yourself, why is the seed giving you access to Turtle Rock? Well, because Quake is in there, right? No. Just kidding.
Yeah, I made the comment early on that usually the play is, if you have access to Turtle Rock, you should probably go to Turtle Rock. But not today, apparently. Apparently the game just wanted you to theoretically have go mode at like 40 minutes if you were extremely lucky.
Yeah, people with guts going into the back of Thieves Town.
If Vitasia had gone in there in particular, because Vitasia had the hammer first thing, it would have been a glorious, glorious play. Also, turns out the ice rod was on blind, so that would have jebaited you toward Turtle Rock some more if you hadn't done it already.
Yeah.
Well, I think I was only looking for Quake like pretty early. Like even my Ice Palace dip, I think I was still only looking for Quake. So had I gone in there, I probably wouldn't have even had Ether yet. So I would have completely dodged it. That being said, I wouldn't have opened anything in Desert Palace, and I'd be doing Master Sword Ganon, which sucks. So
correct. Raylan has the Quake medallion out now. He's trying to use it after killing Ganon. Apparently, you can't do that. Good to know.
I'm the only one who cleared Terra,
or? No. Pretty much everyone cleared Hera. Vitasia didn't actually clear it. He went for the top 2 chests and then decided not to kill Moldorm. I guess Raylan didn't go for Hera either. But Ravis actually went to Hera very, very early.
Yeah.
I did Hera. So.
Oh, you did? Okay.
GG Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought
Probably
about
not too
it,
bad.
and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, GG, everyone. Yeah.
So, once again, Raylan finishing with an official time of 1 hour, 53 minutes, and 22 seconds. It's good for 25th, but there's still people running this race. Because this seed was either really nice to you or you skip Thieves Town.
Basically.
Yeah, I really thought about diving deeper into Thieves Town, but I'm like, I kind of made the strategic decision. If I'm one item away from Go Mode, and I'm last locationing things, I'd do Thieves Town, but it was a pendant, so I was like, let's make a strategic gamble, and it kind of bit me this time.
Yeah, it happens to a lot of us. Sometimes the seed just doesn't respond to your gamble.
Mm-hmm.
This really wasn't a seed for gambling, I would say.
No, probably not. Was I the first one with the hammer? Because I felt like
By
that was
far, yes. Not even close. Like you went to the dark world and you said, you know what? I'm gonna go check a bit of Skullwoods here, and then I'm going north side because I'm smelling something over there at King's Tomb and the Graveyard Legend. Turns out there was something reasonable on both.
Yeah, I mean the way I saw it, I'm like, okay, when I dip in on that side, I always try to check at least a couple in Skullwoods, and I got one item, so I'm like, okay, I don't have to dig too much further. I'll come back once I have the Fire Rod. And I'm like, okay, I have the mirror and the Titan's Mitts, and we had early boots. It just felt like something was there, so I made good use of my time, and I felt really good after that hammer. I'm like, it felt like that was the right play, and I started getting a little bit nervous because I shook myself up a bit too much. Continued on through my play, did Thieves Town and noped out after the first 4, but wanted to kind of keep going through that south loop, do Jeremiah. I clearly forgot that a treasure chest counts as something following you, and
Ooh.
Yeah, that was a little bit rough.
That's not something you want to have to happen to you. I just recently commentated a seed where that led to someone skipping the boots.
Oof.
Ooh,
Well,
yeah.
at least that can't happen in an early boot seed, right?
Yeah.
Very true. And, at least,
We would have
I mean-
gotten woods really early
Yeah.
in Keg.
yeah, the empty chest was there in the back of the well.
I mean, isn't it always the same thing? You get the empty chest early in early boot seeds and in non-early boot seeds,
It's in GT.
Yeah, kind of.
All right, so it has been wonderful commentating this race. I hope everybody else had a good time. Anything else you guys would like to say before we wrap things?
Just want to say thank you for having me, and GG's to you guys, and thanks. Yeah, see you soon.
Yeah, thanks for the restream, and GG to everybody.
Yeah. I kind of want to say the same. The seed was how it was, that's random, so hopefully next time it will be better.
No, thank commentators, Bob. I'm gonna go back and watch this when I can because I love both you and Fear. So I'm gonna go back and watch this. Thank you guys and the trackers and Speed Gaming. I know there's all sorts of stuff going on. I think this was actually this is gonna sound really lame, but I think this is a PB for me because I'm not good.
I mean, it's a respectable time.
Yeah.
Like, if anybody out here has not really played one of these, and if you tried to pick up the controller and just start playing and get a 147, that would be insane.
Yeah, and if you hadn't died at the top of GT, your tab would have been a lot better too. So
Yeah, rub that one in, well, don't you?
you had the powder, or you had blue goo, right?
Yeah, I had blue goo. I didn't have the powder, and I knew where the powder was, but I was like, I can get at least to the hallway. I can get to the hallway, and then I can breathe a little bit. And no, my ego got the better of me. So let this be a lesson to everyone. don't let your ego get the better of you. If you have blue goo, pop it.
Pop it. Just pop it. Don't waste it.
Make use of what you have.
Yeah, and you know what? Red mail's not for cowards. Get that red mail if you see it on the ground there.
Exactly. Red mail is for people who want to live. If that makes me a coward, then I am in the coward Hall of Fame.
That's
And I'm okay. All right, everybody. Thank you once again to all 4 of our runners, Roland Tankir, Ravis, Tale, and Vitasia for putting on an excellent show today. Once again, I want to thank our tracking crew. We had Floyd and Oro sitting in, keeping track of all of those glorious items. And of course, I want to thank my co-commentator, Fear Agent, for joining me today. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. Always glad to get a chance to do comms with you, Dr. Bob.
Yeah, no problem. And once again, thank you to everyone for watching, because you're the ones who make this possible. And we've got plenty more randomizer action coming up later today. There's another early boot seed, this time open mode, later at 9 o'clock. And there's a big relay, if I'm not mistaken, taking place tomorrow of the of randomizers between the Metroid and Zelda games, and the combination randomizers of the Metroid and Zelda games, both the originals and the Super Nintendo versions. So that's going to be a pretty sick display.
Yeah, I don't want to miss that one out.
All right. Once again, thank you all. I will just say that I have been Dr. Bobtastic, and thank you all for watching.